The following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And boy, oh boy, we've got a treat for you today. We're making a rare journey south of the border. Is that on PC to say that? We're in Miami-Dade County, where we don't get often enough, but we're here at Blue Collar Restaurant. You know it. You love it. If you've been here, you know it and love it. If you haven't been here lately, it's now across the street, new location, and we're with the proprietor extraordinaire, chef, partner, Daniel Serfer.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the Lunchbox. And, you know, we do things on the fly here. I'm now going to copy you the link, and I'm going to text you the link, and you're going to send it to your people, and your people are going to get with my people, and then we're going to get more people to watch the show, because we do this live every day, sometimes starting a little bit before 1 o'clock, sometimes after 1 o'clock. We stream it, simulcast it on the Let's Eat South Florida group, which is about to crack 194,000 maniacs or members, people who love to bitch about everything. Danny, I bet you love the social media. We're going to talk about these things, but go ahead.
In that group, there's not all bitching. There's a lot of praise coming out of that group as well.
Oh, good. Here's a person who's an optimist. He sees silver linings.
No, restaurateurs have a very different opinion than Mike Mayo.
I imagine as the moderator of the group, you have to deal with a lot of bitching, but I've seen some people say nice stuff on there.
As the admin in chief who has to live, breathe, and sleep it 24 hours a day. And literally, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night to go take a leak, and then I look and see what's in there. And I'm just mystified by how many people can get so riled about such minor things. And I've been learning to let go of what doesn't really matter. And I think that's something that I'm still working on. I'm a work in progress, Danny. But talking about works, how are you doing here? When did the move take place? Why did the move take place? And how's it been going?
We opened up in the new location last year, June 27th. So it's almost a year now.
Wow.
It was a long time. Thank you.
I'm going to take a drink. And our friend Danny here, he's open. Tough. He's been in recovery for a long time, right? So
today is actually 4 years clean.
Wow.
4 years clean.
4 years clean. I had 13 years before the pandemic, and during the pandemic, since it was the end of the world, I went back out and relapsed. And about a year into the pandemic in 21, I checked myself back into detox on my wife's birthday, which is March 29th. So today, April 1st, was 24 hours from actually having anything in my body. They detoxed me with some stuff, but
it's impressive. And no, that's part of your journey. We'll talk more. We got a long time to talk. We got a lot of ground to cover, my friend.
Yeah.
The past, the present, the future. I don't know if this is uncouth, but I'm going to raise a glass in honor of his 4 years of sobriety.
I felt bad. He's like, oh, who cares?
No, don't worry about it.
No, and I did 20 days in February.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to do the full 28 until they stuck me in an MRI tube for 90 minutes. And all I kept thinking to myself was gummies and martinis.
Yeah.
If I get out of here and they don't wheel me immediately to the catheterization lab for heart work. And I came up clean, which was a beautiful thing. And that night I did have a martini, but you know what? I'm on the new Gila Monster juice, and I take a sip of this, and it's a delicious Caprina. And you've got full liquor here now. That's another new wrinkle, right?
That was one of the reasons we wanted to move across the street to a larger location. It allowed us the opportunity to have full liquor. So for 12 and a half years, we were just beer and wine. And we saw this space across the street from us. It was Balance forever. Then it was...
that was Jose Mendin's Puerto Rican place, right?
When it would turn into La Placita, that was Mendin's place.
The big mural that caused all the controversy.
So we thought it would be a good opportunity. We have a bigger space, have full liquor. We were in that other tiny 700 square foot location for 12 years plus. And I think it was time for us to see what we could do with a bigger space, give our guests a more comfortable dining experience. At the old Blue Collar is so tiny and cramped and smoky. You couldn't really sit for too long and enjoy yourself. That was not your night. It was like, go there, go do something else. Now with a bigger location and full liquor, you can come and hang out and,
Right.
if I'm being honest, spend some money.
What is, I was going to ask you. It's
Bigger
funny.
checks,
Yeah.
bigger average.
My dad grew up just minutes from Coral Gables, so I know the Miami area well. And what's interesting about Miami, it's very old school. So how are people taken to it? Because I know blue collar was like, I don't want to say cult. I just know it had a very strong following from people who really were big fans of blue collar. Like I've been dealing with Billy Corbin. He's become a good friend over the years, and he's been singing your praises. The Burger Beast, big fan of blue collar. Like, how have they taken to the bigger establishment? Because a lot of times in Miami, look at our betters. You look at a lot of these places, like they love what it is, and they're scared of what it could become.
I'm one of the first people to tell you, like when places move from somewhere smaller to bigger, I'm one of the first ones to say I liked it better when they were smaller.
Right.
But when we moved, we kept the entirety of the same staff and just added. So like
and the same menu, the same concepts.
Yeah.
The braise of the day,
Good.
the parm of
Yeah.
the day, and
we kept the chef de cuisine, the sous chef, all the cooks, the same general manager, the same servers. So we were able, I think, to transform seamlessly and just move right across the street and have the same thing going on.
I think what Lubie was alluding to is people
Oh,
they get
so-
married. They get married to a place. They say, "Oh, it's got character."
Well, no.
Said it.
So when we first opened, we started seeing a lot of bad reviews come in of people like, I liked it better when we were smaller.
Right.
And we think that people, when they would go in there and were smaller and they really loved us and supported us, they were like, that's my small little place. That's
right.
my
Miami's weird.
my
enough.
super
Your
little blue
comfort
collar.
zone, right.
And
The place to curl up in a fetal position when you're having a bad day.
yeah, and like as much as I appreciate that kind of support,
Yeah.
I think we've won over a lot of them back as well.
Nice.
But also, man, like you ever see Total Recall?
Yeah.
I got 4 kids to feed.
Yeah. You're a restaurateur.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm just curious about. If you can't make everyone happy,
Yeah.
but it's interesting that you've been able to make a lot of them happy.
Yeah, and it's allowed us to get new regulars and new people coming in that never experienced us before because they heard we were small and smoky and they didn't want to deal with that shit. Now we are getting what we're also seeing is a lot of people. They stopped coming in. They only ordered takeout or Uber Eats, and now we're getting a lot of those people back into the restaurant
Good,
instead
because
of delivery.
it is
Now,
more
it's a
comfortable.
great
You have a
build-out.
patio. You can hang out. The other place, look, I loved it. I was in there a bunch. I would come during the pandemic and pick up the what's it called? The Big Ragu.
Big Ragu.
Big Ragu. Great sandwich. One of the great sandwiches in South Florida.
Okay.
But to actually go in there on a Friday or Saturday night, it was too cramped and it was too crazy, and you felt like you had to leave. Nobody wants to feel rushed, but restaurateurs got to turn tables, and you want to be a good citizen and all that.
Yes.
So I like it in here. I know that our friend Carlos Frias,
Oh, does he?
2-time James Beard
He's a big
Award
Miami guy.
winning
like,
food writer, now contributing to the New York Times. Not that I'm jealous about the Beard Award of the Times. I am. I hate him. I hate you like poison, Carlos. But he dubbed the place white collar instead of blue collar when he came in here. And then, I guess you're open to those kind of jibes because it is a little more polished and it's a little bit more comfortable. And I don't want to use the word upscale, but I see some fancy lighting fixtures in here and stuff. And it's just nicer, but you're growing up.
Yeah.
bingo.
Well, the inside dining room is not much bigger than the blue collar dining room.
Okay.
So this dining room we're sitting in right now, we really only sit about 40, 45 people in here.
Okay.
Whereas across the street, we sat about 25 people. So the inside dining experience is not much larger. The patio, we can sit another 100 plus people.
Oh, wow.
So that's where it seems a lot larger. And, bigger place, want some nicer fixtures. Like I really have a weird.
No, look,
I have a
know,
weird hard on for chandeliers.
and I'm now living with my girlfriend who is a lighting designer. That's her business.
Yeah.
So I come into a restaurant. You could feed me. I just care about the food, and you could put it on a paper plate. I don't give a crap. But she's looking. She walks into a restaurant. She's looking at the
wife's the
lighting and the
same way.
fixtures, and she's
Like-
like, "Oh yeah, they did a nice job in here." So
That we tried. This girl walking in right now is a huge Let's Eat in South Florida.
good. Okay, we love the Let's Eat people here. And is that Kira?
Kira, yeah, exactly.
I know Kira. I've met her.
Hey.
We've been around town.
How are you?
And it's always good, gratifying to see. Let's see. LESFers, as I call them, and Lunchbox fans come on in. And you can come out on it too. It's
It's open.
6789
People are here. I love the crowd.
Biscayne Boulevard. It's right on the corner. You can't miss it. They are open every day. for
Two
lunch?
servers a day, lunch and dinner during the week, brunch and dinner on the weekend.
And no days off. Mondays open
No days
throughout
off.
the season, throughout the year.
You can't be closed.
Can't be closed. You
Interesting.
got mouths to feed.
When I was a young cook at Chef Allen's years ago,
Right.
There was a couple days we would not be like so busy, and I was like, back then I think Mishi's was open and they closed one day a week, and a couple other places. I was like, Chef, how come we don't do that? He goes, because when you're closed, people don't know what day you're closed, so they just don't come.
No, we've had places.
And
that.
it stuck with me. And so even though, like, to be honest, for 13 years, both restaurants, and when we opened up the Minion over there and when we had the sub shop downtown,
Right.
for some reason, Tuesdays are the slowest day no matter what. We always have, for 13 years here and 11 years at Mignonette, we eat shit on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
But we stay open because
No, look.
I'm worried what
Right.
Chef Allen said. If you're closed, they don't know what day it is, and then they don't come. So
And that's sage advice from Chef Alan Susser, who I love. And I did want to get into your past and your background, how you started, why you got into this crazy business. But first I'm gonna say
Well,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Because Blue Collar celebrated its bar mitzvah just
Yeah.
the last
Oh, that's
couple of
my-
months.
my-
13 years
That's
old.
fantastic.
And
L'chaim.
even though it's now in new
L'chaim,
digs,
sir.
anytime
Thank
a
you.
restaurant in Miami makes it to adulthood,
No, that's big.
no
Are you
matter which
serious?
religion that you're
Well,
observing,
they're expanding.
and
Like,
they're
that's
expanding, they're
fantastic.
getting bigger. They're not, resting on their laurels.
No, that's wonderful.
I mean, and you could have stayed there. Or was it a lease situation?
No,
or-
I could have stayed there. Originally, what we were going to do over there, I was going to revisit the hoagie shop idea
Right.
and open up something called Hank's, which is would have been named after my dad, who's from Philly, and it was going to be a hot and cold hoagie place. But then, as more and more money started pouring into this place, I didn't have any money left to do that. And then, as we opened this, I realized how I'm kind of too old. I'm too old, and we don't have a big enough team to open up two things at once. So we ended up getting rid of that lease, and they opened up some guys that took it. They are doing a Turkish Greek place that looks pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. And we were. Is that in a motel or it's like in a?
No, it's part of the motel.
It's part of the motel.
Yeah, my landlord was the motel. In fact, I was doing this private event for his charity a couple weeks ago, and the original owner of the motel that I signed the lease with, their niece was there. Nice lady, Taiwanese family, and she brought me a gift. And so, whenever I was talking about blue collar in like the early days of media, I'd always say, yeah, we're attached to a hooker and cocaine motel. Right? It's for the hookers and drug dealers.
Rented rooms by the hour.
So she made me this shirt that her friend, I think, did. He would know from Instagram, Miami Stadium, E2 Sabes. And it was a picture of the motel with the original name and a very provocative picture on the back. And in Spanish, it says hookers and cocaine. And she gave
Or
me one.
as the chefs say, hookers and blow.
Yes.
Colloquially.
And, my daughter likes to wear all my shirts to bed. And
Oh, Jesus.
she tried wearing it to school
Show
one
your
day.
wife. Oh, geez.
She tried wearing it to school. So on Friday, they can wear whatever. And I was like, no, Charlie, not this one.
I can't wear those T-shirts anymore. ICE might pick you up and put you in
Yeah,
a
exactly.
detention center somewhere. Peg you.
Before we
in
move on,
some-
let's.
okay.
What do we have on the table?
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
thank you. Thank you for pointing us towards
So-
the food,
Because
Mr.
usually we would
Producer.
start eating, but I heard so much about this place.
I just saw
that
a
I couldn't help
quesadilla thing. I just
myself.
threw it in my mouth without
So
even
I-
knowing what it is.
The
So-
stuff is not what it like. What I mean is, it's very cool. Everything that's on the table. So I wanted you to
Comfort
explain
food.
it.
All right. So this is my absolute favorite thing on the menu between both places and always has been. It's our pork and beans with a sunny side up egg.
Is that the kosher pork that you use?
So we use like a ton of sausage, a ton of smoked bacon, great San Marcos, I don't know,
Am I
tomatoes,
supposed to poke
peppers.
the
Yeah,
egg
yeah.
and let it
Do your
run
thing,
down
Mayo,
the
it's
thing?
fine.
Oh,
So-
I didn't get my video going. I can't post it on IG. Maybe
So-
you people at home
Right
can see
there.
the runny egg running down the pork.
That
It's-
It's beautiful.
That, and we do a larger format of it with more beans and eggs for brunch.
Is this Sullivan Street or Zach the Baker bread?
This is La Provence.
Like I said, I know everything.
Yeah.
I don't know Miami. What's
It's
La
Miami.
Provence? I
La,
don't even-
they've been around forever. Zach and Sullivan do a great job as well. But, we're fiercely loyal, and we've been with these guys for a long
yeah,
time.
look at that. Ooh,
So,
I got my runny egg.
so that's that. Over here, we have our conch fritters, which is all Bahamian conch with our spicy tartar. There is our Cuban sandwich egg rolls, which across the street was spring rolls, but we've upgraded to egg roll wrapper because it's a little bigger and easy to work with. Inside of that is some prosciutto, some roast pork, variety of cheeses, and we make a dipping sauce from yellow mustard mayo.
This is ridiculous.
That's the
by way.
Cubano.
There's pickles
It
inside.
looks great.
The mayo as the dipping sauce is such a great touch. It is fantastic.
And this is something we brought back. We did it as a special sometimes across the street, but we just didn't have the space. This is a duck confit quesadilla.
That's so good.
I
So-
saw it and I was going to ask for it, but I'm like, I don't know. if
What
you
are the
want
two
to
sauces?
whip
Because
that
this
up.
one is
That's a
little bit
mango
sweet.
jam.
Mango jam.
And the other one
Sweetness
is
cuts the fattiness of the duck.
yeah,
It's
and this is like a sour cherry
perfect.
gastri.
Sour jam. You know, I gotta say, I'm not the biggest mango fan. But the sour cherry gastrique
When you worked
is
for Chef
shouting
Allen
my
for as
name.
long as I did,
I know he's part of the mango gang. It wasn't the cherry gastrique gang, so
He
you
is-
gotta honor him. Let's talk about your beginnings. Why did you become involved in the whole culinary restaurant world, and how you got
Because you're
hooked up
from
with
South Florida. I mean, I don't even think we've said that much.
I'm from
You're born
Miami.
and raised South Florida.
yeah, I went to North Miami Beach Senior High.
Aventura. Spent some time in Broward. I
Well-
know you're ashamed of Broward, but
No,
that's
I
okay.
love Broward.
Plantation is like.
I
10
want to
minutes
move
from where I
back there,
grew
but
up.
my wife won't do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Broward. All my favorite like hamburger places and sub places are in there,
Well, I'm
and Thai places.
we've shared, we text each other.
I
'Cause
know.
he comes back from vacations and he always he texts me a picture of the pizza from Concadoro, which used to
Ooh,
be
that's
my
your- that your
neighborhood
spot.
spot
Yeah,
right
that's your
around the
spot.
corner. And then, they moved from Hollywood. And both me and you, we love that, that everything pie at Concadoro. So, yeah, we have many things in common. And I'm glad that you are still,
A Broward guy at
a
heart.
Broward guy that appreciates what Broward excels at, which is good, quality, reasonable food. We're not trying to be shishi and frou-frou like some places in Miami. And that's why I always appreciated you, because you are at heart a blue-collar guy, a chef that worked the kitchen, learned from some of the best.
Well-
Were you first with Chef Allen? What was your first industry job?
Well, in the early or mid '90s, I was a busboy at the Crab House
Oh, wow.
Which
And-
crab house was
in
that?
Waterways.
Oh,
'Cause I lived
wow.
in the Waterways, and they opened one up, and I saw they were doing interviews. So when I was 14, my parents and I were in that plaza. They were having coffee or whatever.
Didn't they have that big vegetarian restaurant there too in the Waterways? A guy named Alan Pedaluski or something like that. But
I don't know about that,
Hmm.
but I was like 14, and they were like, "Well, you're too young. You have to get your parents' permission." And my parents were right there. I was like, "Yo, sign me up for this job." But before that, even my parents had retirement homes, so I'd been working in the retirement homes as a busboy, dishwasher
Oh, interesting.
for like from the time I was 10. So the Crab House hired me as my first experience with working in a real restaurant, and the cooks there took a shine to me, and they were a lot older, and we would do some very unsavory things. They would take me to places a 14, 15-year-old kid had
Really?
no business being
was
in,
this
had
90s?
no business being in, like places that ended with the word gold,
okay.
and they knew everyone there.
Let you in.
Yeah, if something is ending in a precious metal like a gold or a platinum, it's
No.
usually not a place for a 14-year-old.
So I was like, man, cooks are cool.
The cooks. I actually every
So-
restaurant I worked in a couple, and the cooks were always like the G's, like the dude that would just hang out and shoot the crap with you. And,
Yeah. So
you,
from there,
you embrace the lifestyle.
yeah, from there I worked at this chicken shack, and that was open in Aventura. That's been around. It was around in Broward forever, called Poultry Brothers. And then in college, I worked at a place in Tallahassee called Po' Boys,
Oh,
which
that
is like
was you.
I know Po' Boys.
It was like
on
a
College
Po' Boys.
Avenue there.
Yeah.
It's no longer there.
no, both locations are no longer there.
Oh, Po' Boys isn't there anymore.
No, it's not.
They have
I
one
know this is
location.
my
Really?
daughter. I didn't realize you were Seminole. You went
I started at University of Vermont. I finished at Florida State.
oh, wow.
Po' Boys is not there anymore.
No, for a
it's not
while.
that. He's,
Um,
he's a fellow.
I
no.
graduated like 20 years
My
ago. now, but
daughter's
I
a
graduated
no.
04.
So,
I graduated 05. Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Po' Boys is not there
Contemporaries.
anymore. That's crazy.
no.
Po' Boys is like a classic dip and dunk, like dip it in flour, dunk it in the fryer.
Mhm.
And I cut my teeth there. Graduated, started working, going to culinary
What'd
school.
you major in at?
I was a double poli-sci in history because I was going to be an
Very useful in the
I
I
was
worked
going to
in
be
the
an
kitchen.
attorney forever. That was my big goal in life. I wanted to be like Scarface's attorney.
Right.
You know, people
And then
like
you
that.
got drawn into the. What did your parents say? Did you become the black sheep? Or
No,
or-
my
he's a hard worker.
my dad was he'd already passed, and my
Mm.
mom, she was supportive. She was like, "That's awesome, go for it." This was
cool.
like the early aughts, so the Food Network was like super hot,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was like studying for the LSAT one night and cooking dinner, and I liked the cooking dinner part more than
studying for the LSAT.
so.
There
I-
you go. You followed your passion.
Yeah.
And
That's
look
really
what's
cool.
happened.
And then I moved down here as I was in culinary school. I worked for Chef Allen.
He's the best. I love Alan.
He's the greatest mentor I've ever had. I would do anything for him. And he said, he took me as what's called a stage,
Right.
unpaid kitchen laborer.
Internship.
And I worked there for almost 6 years. And by the time I left,
He didn't pay you for 6 years?
No. For a few months. And then by the time I left, I was the chef de cuisine of the restaurant that, was always in a great conversation of being the best places in South Florida. I had maintained the diamond status from AAA. This is before a Michelin or anything. And, I think I did a really good job of shepherding his reputation for while I was in
used
charge.
to love going there.
Yeah.
That was back, when I guess, I was married and our place for anniversary celebrations and stuff was always Chef Allen's. It was just a special place.
I was there. It was great. And then my first executive chef job out of there was at the 15th Street Fisheries in Broward.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when I took that over.
Not when I reviewed the joint.
This was.
So you know Ted Drum?
Ted was one of my bosses.
I ran into him at a function the other week, and he remembered the review I wrote when I was the critic, but that was long after you were gone.
I was there in 2009 to the middle of 2010.
Okay.
So if you did it after that, it was
mine was in 2017. So
that was probably one of my old cooks who had taken over by then, Ulysses. But I had a lot of fun with that. It was interesting doing such high volume, and then
that's a good place to kind of cut.
Yeah, I think I did a good job there. I did.
My family loved that place.
I had like marching orders from Ted to make the more fancy dining room upstairs closer to what like Chef Allen and Norman were doing. So I did that, and then I followed a girl to New York. And in New York I really developed my own style. Not because I worked at any great places or had any input or ability to put my stamp on anything, but I didn't really do much. Like I ended up hiding out at this hotel where I didn't have to do much.
I would imagine if this was your non-sober period, you might have been doing much.
No, I was sober. No,
you were sober
clean.
there?
I was clean, yeah.
Okay.
And then so all I would do was eat.
Oh.
Like
interesting.
I got off work and I would just eat anything and everything. Small hole in the wall.
Research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in New York, having a place like Blue Collar, the old location of 700 square feet, that's busy and does really good food and is very value forward is nothing. It's everywhere.
It's not exceptional.
Yeah.
Right.
It's everywhere. So I realized that was possible. I moved back down here and my New York credentials were not impressing anyone.
Really?
And Chef Allen's, they had closed, so that it was hard to use that as, get my foot in the door. So I found this location. I took a chance. I figured, well, if it doesn't work out, at least I have, somebody might think I'm back here and they'll give me credit for trying to do something and hire me. And, that was November of 11.
Yeah.
And now we are.
All right, we're going to get into.
You try Comforter? You conch?
The conch. I haven't. I'm like my body.
He's not a huge Comforter fan.
My body is really averse to now fried foods. Although this,
I'll try it.
Confit,
I love a Comforter.
Look, I'm in critic mode. I'll try it. All right.
We're very proud of the Comforters.
I've got to be straight up about. There are certain foods that you can make it the best in the world, and I'm still going to say, because I just like Comforters are one of those foods that always somehow disappoint me. Because it's just fried dough. It's just a beignet where you stuff some
it is softer.
Seafood into it.
A lot of
let me
times it's
see.
very dense.
Let's see what this guy does with his meat.
This is not dense. This is a lot softer and has more of almost a pastry kind of a consistency than what a Comforter would have.
Look at you, Mr. Critic.
Well, because that's my problem. Because you don't taste the conch. He loves conch.
Good.
I don't care
There's
about
huge
conch
piece
that
of
much.
conch in there. Look.
Yeah.
No,
that's normally with a Comforter. That's his lament. Look, I take it for what it is. I know it's not eating a conch salad, so I'm okay with that.
We have a great conch salad too.
I'm sure you do.
I prefer conch salad.
But my thing is, a lot of times it's really
spice.
dense. This is not. This is not as dense. I actually really enjoy this.
Where are we getting that from? Is this some
There's Scotch bonnet.
Scotch bonnet?
Scotch bonnet.
Yeah.
So the
subtle on the back end. It gets you. It's good.
It's not
It's a good
Comforter. Yeah.
Rightfully proud of that.
Good.
I will try the egg roll in a second. We got to take our first break because we got bills to pay here too on the lunchbox. And first, I got to put in the good word about presenting sponsor today. Tropical Acres in business more than 75 years.
Yep.
And when I want the greatest in value, service, hospitality, and of course that prime rib, I always get to Tropical Acres. I was in there this morning. It's at 2500 Griffin Road, and I was getting a status update on the upcoming Sunday holidays. They're usually closed on Sundays, but they are open for all the major holidays, including Easter Sunday, coming up April 20th, Mother's Day, May 11th. They have plenty of availability for both of those Sundays. And they're so old school there, you've got to make a phone call to make a reservation. So give them a call today to get in the books for those two big holidays or any of the upcoming nights on a weekend. You want to get in there.
Today is a Tuesday, by the way.
Oh, Tuesday. We know what Tuesday is, half price wine night. And of course, every night, Tuesday through Friday in the bar, 50% off all the top shelf alcohol, every kind of drink, along with light bites. 954-989-2500 is the phone number to make your reservations for the holidays or any day from Monday through Saturday. Tropical Acres, tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take the first break.
Can I say how much I like Tropical Acres?
Yes, obviously.
I've been going there since I've been in South Florida forever. So I've been going there since I was born. And me and my business partner, Ryan, he lives in Hollywood, and almost every month we actually go there for dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know, when
I love Tropical Acres.
A restaurant
and I
tour of
brought
your
chef
acclaim, that's
friends
pretty
there. The thing about Tropical Acres, and I always say, like, you play to its strengths. You can't beat that prime rib. I order, medium rare to medium
Perfect every
rare.
time.
Yep.
Get with the cream spinach on the side. I mean, you go into the bar and you get a Belvedere martini for $8, which is just ridiculous.
Right now,
yeah, that's from.
That's not from 2000.
He lifted his eyebrows like he's
no
rethinking
way.
that 4-year mark. We don't want to do that, Danny.
No.
But again, family runs. Studio Alleys are just great people, community minded. You've heard me sing the praises all these years, so
I love that he
warms
sang the
my
praises.
heart
That's great.
that it's appreciated by those in the business too, because they know what quality and hospitality is all about. All right, let's take the break. And we got lots more ground to cover and a lot more food to eat here at Blue Collar in Miami after these words. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the lunch. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat Boys with a Z, as in a... All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Special edition blue collar restaurant in Miami.
For you, George, we're in Miami, my friend.
Heart of Miami, 6789 Biscayne Boulevard. Got friends of the show here. We've got Danny Serfer here. And now we've got the big revamped burger here. Before I get into the burger and the new dishes that appeared, I just do want to give a quick welcome to our newest sponsor. It is April, and we have a new sponsor on board. Jarrell Jones, who just opened his latest 4th location of Fat Boys Barbecue around the corner from my new digs in downtown Fort Lauderdale. But welcome to the Lunchbox family. He has, I don't know if you've been into any of the Fat Boys.
I like them.
He has the best collard greens.
His collard greens
His
are
cornbread
ridiculous.
is fantastic. And, things like he does a pastrami and a brisket and ribs, dry rub. I love his dry
Really
rub.
nice.
Spare ribs. And Jarrell, thank you for your support. And I hope the new location, it looks like it's been going really well because every time I drive
before
past,
they were even open.
walk past, there's people in the door there. So Fat Boys Barbecue, 4 locations in Broward. All right, that's my shameless plug.
All right.
Let's talk. You've got special of the day, and you've got the burger.
So when we moved across the street, we changed what the dailies are. So forever the dailies were braised, rib, and parm, and we do a different one of those. When we moved across the street, as far as the braised goes, we just shoved the oxtail on the menu all the time, so that's the most popular one.
People love oxtail.
The chicken parm we put on all the time, so that was the most popular one. So we switched the dailies to a chop and a pasta.
Okay.
So right now we have a dry aged Kansas City strip as a chop, and we have this lobster ravioli that we serve with a pink sauce with a little bit of pancetta and some seared shrimp up top as well.
That looks great.
So now that we have a fancier location, we can have fancier shit.
And Carlos Frias, you can suck. No, Carlos has he been in?
Yeah. Carlos comes by.
He's a good dude, and he appreciates good food. Oh no, man! Now we've got curry goat. And
this isn't even the Corbin yet. Oh,
that's the Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Danny, what are you doing to me? All right, let's go. Before I start taking bites everywhere, although this is now you still have a braise of the day, which is a curried goat, which is
so now it's braise, chop, and pasta.
Right, and this is goat on the bone, which is the only way to eat it because it's got all the flavor. And I don't know if you can see this out there. Lubie, you got to take some shots.
I've taken videos for sure. Because I've heard so much about this place and I'm really stoked. Because I kept hearing the term comfort food, but I like that they're doing a lot of South Florida favorites. I like the curries, the latkes and stuff like that.
The chef de cuisine and the sous chef are from Jamaica and.
We're gonna need a bigger table. Gonna need a bigger
from Jamaica and Haiti, respectively. And during the pandemic, I kind of let them go nuts and put whatever they want on the menu.
And
So
here's the Corbin.
This is the Corbin. Okay.
This is the one
They're
that, again,
famous.
I know Billy a long time.
No, we're dear friends. I love
Since
that
we
guy.
used to do the panel together on This Week in South Florida with Michael Putney, when it was just Michael Putney before Glenna Milberg came along, and ultimately Michael retired. But me and Billy would be the rabble-rousers.
Corbin
Every week
always.
they would invite these very nice
Oh, it
corporate
is funny knowing
lawyers.
you, the two of you together.
Oh, no, we were like the liberal firebrands.
Corbin doesn't give a crap.
One
and
time
you
I
don't
said
either.
something. I think it ticked off the GM of the station because I never got invited back after that. I always wondered. But anyway, great to see. I mean, how did you first meet Billy? And his wife does the
she makes our key
desserts.
lime pie.
That's Megan, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Billy and I actually grew up together in the neighborhood. So
Interesting. Oh, I didn't know.
we weren't like buddy, but we've grown up in the same area, like Highland Lakes, North Miami Beach, since I was little. His younger brother is my age. So I know Timmy a little bit better. When we opened up, he would come in and he was very supportive. And I I didn't see him in a long time. So we kind of rekindled, and he's like, you should have like a brisket sandwich. We just did brisket back then. He's like, you should do a brisket sandwich, like a deli. And I was like, well, only if we could name it after you, because then it'd be like a real deli.
Right.
You name something after a celebrity.
Yep.
So he's like, okay. So we did it, and the way we did it was like this. It's a twin,
Twin brisket
sandwiches with
They're
jus.
not sliders though. These are big mama
No,
sandwiches.
it's a full sandwich.
On the Portuguese muffin,
Yep.
which has become your trademark.
That's one of our things. With jus for dipping and latkes.
I like the latkes is a beautiful touch.
Oh, it looks like we forgot the applesauce for the latkes, which should be there.
It's okay.
We'll figure it
I'll
out.
live with that. Now, I just took a bite of the ravioli. It's superb. I mean, all these things, I can't possibly. I got filled up on the appetizers, but I am going to go in for a bite of the burger. What I love about the burger is I'm not a double meat guy. I don't like bacon cheeseburgers. I think bacon muddies up the mix. I am a burger purist. I think no burger should have more than 3 toppings. It should have cheese, it should have onions, it should have pickles.
Yes.
And on my plate here, I see cheese, I see onions and pickles, and just the special troll touch for Burger Beast, our friend Seth Gonzalez, a little bit of lettuce, just to kind of, for people who are into that lettuce thing. But this is a perfect looking burger. I probably should not be. Yeah,
You wanna cut
Lubie
it in
is
half?
going to be. Yeah, you know what?
Fine,
I'm going
no,
to do
you're-
the half thing because
No,
cut
but
it in half.
you had a request for a big bite. Whatever's left, I don't mind eating. that.
no, I can't do the big bite. I am so not hungry right now. Again, the evils of this Gila monster venom. I can't tell people enough how just don't follow my footsteps. Try to
Do it on
exercise
your
some
own.
restraint and portion control earlier in life so that you don't have to
Look
get
how
on
beautiful
this.
that is.
Oh
Look
my
at
God,
that.
look at
God.
that. That is
Look
a
at how
perfect
That's
medium
cooked
rare.
so perfect.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
God.
First of all, I'm going to peel off. How did this lettuce get on here? That's an outrage. I'm sorry, Burger Beast. I'm going to put on. The non-cheese side. It looks like you use.
That
Is it American?
Looks American.
Or cheddar? American. He's making a face like, yes, I saw the movie, the menu. Yes, American cheese is the
Only
only
American.
Yeah, okay.
Only American. But
This
we
is
use a
why I
very
love-
special American.
No, but it's okay.
Yeah,
It's like
a proper cheese.
It's like a Cooper Sharp American.
right.
So it melts properly.
It's
gooey.
actually-
But when I
It's
talk
actually a
to
ch-
restaurateurs, and my wife makes a face about American, when it comes to burgers,
Only
it's the
American.
best melting cheese. Now, there's different levels. Obviously, you have a high level American. That's fine. But
It's
exactly.
got to be like this or Kraft. Otherwise, it's not gonna
honestly,
be
it doesn't
proper.
work as good.
I don't like. I love cheddar cheese. I love all
Which is-
kinds of
it doesn't
cheese. But on a
taste.
hamburger, American.
No,
and
right?
The key is you're using real cheese
Well, his is real
and
cheese,
not
that stuff I
cheese
went to.
food. If you look at your label of your
They
Kraft
won't use the word
singles,
It doesn't say cheese.
but
it says
American cheese is actually the meltiest and the best as any
For a
chef will
burger,
find.
yeah.
Did you see the movie, The Menu?
Yeah, I liked it.
I loved it.
I liked
thought
it.
it was
I
great.
like those 3 actors very much. Actually.
And Ray Fiennes
Well, Ray
is great.
Fiennes is
And
my favorite burger of all time, actually.
tell
all
me
time.
while I chow down on the new. This again, you've revamped it. You're using some different meat, but
It's
it
a-
looks beautiful.
It's a softer grind, so it pulls apart easier, the crumble, and it's also more dry aged, so it's going to be more funky. My favorite burger of all time, Jack's in Fort Lauderdale.
Our friend Devo, that's his favorite burger.
1000%. And even the new owners, they have kept it the same.
Okay,
know-
because I haven't
we
been.
know
I've
the new
never been.
owners. The
It's a
guys-
Sicilian oven, people.
Yes,
Sicilian
and
oven,
we love them.
Andrew
They're
and-
great.
Ralph, they know you can't mess with that because people
No.
will throw a revolt.
And the same, like, kind of people that work there are the same. What I love about Jack's, aside from the burger, I grew up eating it, so it has a taste of nostalgia for me, and I love the flavor. I love that they charge you 50 cents or whatever it is for a bag. I don't get it, but the fact that they're going to charge you for a bag of lettuce and tomato, I freaking love it. Yeah,
I
you need another
love.
napkin.
Yeah,
It's
I
on the
drop
floor.
mine.
It's right
I always
here.
drop it. Hold
Right
on.
here.
This is one of Lubie's duties is to pick up
Yeah.
my drop napkins.
I
Um,
love that.
No, so Jack's okay. I love the condiment bar there.
The pickles.
Yeah,
I think we use
everything,
the same.
they have
pickles.
jalapeno. They have everything in that condiment bar, and I love. I hadn't been in there in a while, but after the guys bought it from Sicilian Oven, I wanted to check it out. And look, I don't love the meat and the way they cook it. They do it on a flat top grill. It's not the smash burgers, which
I
I
love that.
despise, by the way. I hate smash burgers. But and I know you taste the nostalgia. I'm a Char Hut fan. I love the Char Hut burgers because
Well,
they
you
give
grew
you
up-
a
you're
choice.
That's my number
bump.
2.
Yeah, you
Okay.
grew up in Broward. You like
Okay,
Char
look
Hut.
at
Char's
that.
number 2.
I love
Yep.
this guy. He
No, he's
we have
he's a
similar
South Florida
tastes.
guy.
And now Jack's, I like it, but I would
I've never had it.
going in terms of the flavor and taste, I'd rather go to Char Hut because I love it. Now this, all right. So I was in here opening night, and this was when it was the older burger, and it came out a little bit more drier and a little bit more well done. But you're right. This is a
It's so good.
winner. It has, it comes out looking more like a rare burger, and like you said, the
It's
texture,
a higher profile.
it pulls apart easier. You get the juiciness, but oh my god, I thought somebody put blue cheese on it. You're right about
It's
the dry
funky as hell.
aging funk, which chefs and foodie people love the funk, and bring the noise, bring the funk, and bring me this burger. And even though I have no appetite whatsoever, I'm going in for another bite. Job well done, my
Well,
friend.
Thank you. My weekly shot is tomorrow, so I
You're ready.
have some space to
Yeah.
eat.
And that's the funny part of, we're on a similar journey now. I'm very happy to be here eating this. My body not be very happy in a few hours, but I've been learning about things that you can avoid, things that you could eat. And,
Well, protein's big.
but I hit my first goal, which was to be in the 220s by April, and I
Yep.
did that.
Yep.
And
That's
so
amazing.
the next stop is going to be the 2 teens and then 200. And then,
Yep.
my ultimate goal is to have a weight that begins with the digit number 1.
Look
I'm,
at there.
I'm shooting for 160.
Oh, wow.
I'm at 183.
Okay.
And you're
Down from
looking
2
good.
and a quarter.
Nice.
Looking good, my
wow.
friend.
Really good.
How
for
do you do
you.
that? Okay. You're a real masochist because you're in the restaurant business, in recovery, and now you have full liquor. And, also trying to maintain the battle of the bulge and diabetes. Being around this all day.
We're not a tapas place. What am I going to do when I'm at the window or prepping? What, take a bite of your burger and send it
Yeah,
at the
that's the
table?
thing. He probably eats less.
It's not like It's
Because
not
it's
like we
full
have
plates.
snacky things for me to grab all day. Like maybe French fry here or there, but I've also been surrounded by this stuff for 13 years.
Right.
It's not
So-
new, yeah.
So you become a little bit immune.
I
to
can
it.
resist it easier. Like say if I was working the window at Macchialina or BKK, I'd be like putting my finger in the fork and everything. But my stuff, I've been around it enough that I can take it easy.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. Getting back to your personal. So you open this place across the street, blue collar. It's a hit. And then other things start coming. When did Mignonette,
Oh.
and then
So-
and then you
Blue-
tried the second Mignonette, which I reviewed favorably, but location was a little challenging.
So Blue, we opened in January 12. Towards the end of that year, I met who would end up becoming like my best friend and business partner, Ryan Roman, who had like a blog, Miami Restaurant Power Rankings, and he would rank the 20 best restaurants. And Blue Collar was never on there. And one day I reached out to him through Twitter, and I was like, "Hey, why don't we go hang out one day?"
Yeah.
And we did. We became best friends. He apparently always wanted to open up an oyster bar, and we were becoming like really close. And I was like, he asked me if I wanted to do it, and then I said, "Sure, but I don't really know anything about oysters. I never really worked with them." He's like, "It's all right. We'll figure it out." So me and him did that, and Mignonette opened up in August of 14, and also did really well. People were
And
very,
that's downtown Miami.
yeah, that's in 18th and 2nd. People loved it, and we've been very lucky there. We tried doing something else. We'd opened a second Mignonette in North Miami. That didn't work after a year.
But I love that vibe. It was
The
a
old
diner.
It was so cool. It was the old gourmet diner location. But
Food was fantastic.
thank you. The people in that neighborhood apparently did not want to go to an oyster bar inside of a diner and spend what that costs.
Right.
I feel like people in that neighborhood, if they're going to spend that kind of money, they want to be in Bell Harbor, Design,
Mm.
South of Fifth, things like that. So
it's funny how people have their preconceived notions, and I just didn't think there was much of a community around. I guess there are
like
to
Bay
the
Harbor,
east and
Bal
west.
Harbor,
Yeah,
Surfside,
Yeah.
Keystone, San Souci. Like we had our fans, but not enough. And also it was on an island, so you had to be going there.
right.
There was no movie theater nearby. There was no other restaurants. There was nothing.
Right.
You
It
know.
was in between places.
Yeah,
but-
like there was a car dealership across the street, a couple of them. So
right. For me, it was sad to see that go, but then you still have the original mini neck going. Blue collar now better than ever.
we
and
do a
bigger
lot of
digs.
catering now. Anybody that
And the sandwich thing, you were tinkering around, and
we had a sub shop downtown called Vinaigrette, which was like my homage to Las Patas and VNS Deli.
Mhm.
And oh man, it was so good.
Yeah.
Like so good. Our bread was amazing. The quality of the cold cuts were amazing. And half of our business was corporate catering. So when the pandemic hit,
That was it. It was
there's no corporate
curtains.
clients.
Right.
So
That's that you were talking about maybe reviving the concept across the street here, but that didn't work out. Is it still percolating in your brain somewhere, sometime?
I think every chef wants to have a sandwich shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like some of us will try several times. And it's like in recovery, we have the definition of an insanity.
Yeah.
Which is doing the same thing
Oh, so
over
you're
and
gonna
over,
do it again
expecting a
just to
different
see if you
result.
can
Like
get something different?
I have chef friends, but I don't want to mention, but they've done it 3 times and didn't work. And like the thought is, but like, why doesn't it work? Las Patas has been there forever. VNS has been there forever.
Does Miami have a tentpole sandwich place?
Well, now it's
now that I think about it,
sandwich, you know,
oh,
it's
sandwich
gotta
in
have
but
the
that's
lemon
not-
spin.
That's
Yeah.
not forever. I love sandwich, but forever is like 20 plus years. So like
Yeah.
the fonts in New York, in Brooklyn,
Mm.
you know, La Spada all over Broward,
Yeah, yeah.
VNS in Boca.
Yeah. Miami doesn't
And
have
so it's
one.
like you're like, well, I could be a forever sandwich place. I could do that. So the question is, if we need a time machine to go back and see how long it took them to become busy all the time
Right.
and a forever place.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure La Spada, didn't just open up and be like, okay, we're La Spada, we're open, we're fucking
we know,
balls to the wall every day.
the owner, so we
Yeah,
can talk
Gail
to them.
is a friend of Defoe's.
They brought it from Pittsburgh, and they
Well, why are they
have
so?
had their struggles.
I
but
heard.
yeah.
I don't know them. I heard we used to use a similar bread company and had the same bread rep. I heard that they loathe Miami and will never open here.
No, I don't know about loathing
I don't
Miami, but
think-
they've never discussed
I
Miami.
think they're very happy with,
They're
they have
just
like
happy.
5 or 6 locations.
they're like old school
around.
hippies. They've already
Broward.
grown further than a lot of them.
I'm-
thought they
You
would.
get to a certain age, you don't need the traffic. You just
No,
don't
but they
need to be
didn't.
on
They didn't
5
open and expand
Right.
until very recently. Like they had university and commercial forever, and then only in the past 15 years did they go beyond those two.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
they're
And
6.
now
they're
they're in
at
Coral
6. They're in
Springs
Boca.
and Boca.
I'm-
The original was Lauderdale by the Sea.
I'm
Yes.
Team University. Always have.
Well, I was
been.
going to say the Davy one is the one I grew up going.
Right. And
Davy one is my favorite. Always.
that's it. Well,
Always will be.
I love talking good sandwich. I love talking food with this guy. We got to take our second break.
Then we got to talk about the cheesesteak, the veggie plate.
Oh, and
What
yeah.
is what is this over here? I don't even know what that. You don't even discuss what this is.
Yeah, because guys
Well,
like me and Mayo,
because I'm eating them.
guys like
burger.
me and Mayo.
Oh,
are
and a
fucking-
special shout out to the fries. I've never seen. I mean, I think I've eaten burgers here before, but I guess I've come with people that substitute the salad or veggies on the side because these are the exact same, and they're house made, house cut, big, thick fries.
Because you get it house cut fries, but they're not usually thick like that.
but
I
they're
love
the
the combo.
same ones that I see at my home deli in Brooklyn, the Mill Basin
Okay.
FUT Kosher Deli, serves this exact same French fry, and I guess they also must hand cut it because I've never seen it as a commercial product. It's fantastic. It is just thick, and you got the skin on the edges.
I love
and
that.
I could make a meal out of that. And I asked the question the other day on the group: if you had to give up one of these things for a full year, potatoes, pasta, or pizza, which would it be? And I answered
I would say
potatoes in a
potatoes.
heartbeat because I'm
Yeah.
not Irish and I should have been Italian. But these potatoes
It's hard
make
to
me
give up
rethink
this.
that. These French fries.
I like pasta too.
Which one would it
I don't
be?
eat pizza that often. I would probably say pizza. Because I don't
Really?
eat pizza. I
Oh,
like
God,
pizza,
I
but
can't
we
live
don't eat it a
without
lot.
I can give up potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm not
I mean,
giving up
of the
pizza or
three,
pasta. I'm not
no,
giving.
I need the pasta.
Like,
I need the
We
pizza.
just I love pizza, but we don't eat it a lot.
because like
Potatoes
of those,
but
for
pasta
me,
are a nice side dish.
of those 3 options, a
Or nice main dish.
mediocre pizza or pasta, I can tolerate more than a mediocre fry.
Mm.
Yes, you're that's true.
It goes back to my saying, even bad
Mediocre
pizza,
fries
if
stinks.
pizza's like sex,
Yeah.
even bad pizza is okay.
I've
It still
eaten plenty of
fills the
bad
bill
pizza, yeah.
sometimes.
You're
That's
still,
true.
That's it.
you're still
That's it. It's still a pizza eater.
You still ate
But
it,
yeah,
too.
there's nothing worse than a limp, soggy fry. That's what she said. All right, let's take our second break.
What was this?
Oh, this is our
because-
veggie plate. So one of the
Oh,
things
nice.
that we're known for, we have this chalkbard which has like 25,
Sides,
28 different sides of vegetables.
Yep.
and people can pick 4 and make a veggie plate. So this one is one of the ones I really like.
The asparagus looks
Maduros.
especially
I love
enticing with
Maduros.
some
Maduros,
Yeah,
asparagus
cheese.
with blue cheese, charred sweet potato with brown butter, and fried Roman artichokes with lemon aioli.
Oh my god.
Isn't it sad now that I reach for the asparagus
It's not
stalk
sad.
first? Because as much as I love the Corbin sandwich, if I did that, my body would rebel
I
against
mean, you
me.
ate half of a burger.
That's
So-
a mindset, Mike. You got to break through it. Look, I've been doing the semaglutide for a lot longer than you.
Yeah.
You can break through it. You got to get away from that mindset,
You
and
don't
then
have
sometimes
to-
just deal with the consequences.
You get punished,
No.
especially on days 1, 2, and
You-
3.
look, you
You're
got
on day 6 and
to
7.
deal with the consequence.
I was on day 6 and 7 during my New York trip, and I surprised myself with what I was
Look,
able to
yeah,
do.
but look, right now
defeated
it's a
Yosemite.
treat for you to be in Miami and to be around this.
Yeah,
So
it
you got to
is.
deal with it. Like yesterday
Yeah.
on my way home, when I stopped at BKK,
Yeah.
that was a huge treat for me because I'm never up in Broward, and so I
We did a
fucking
show there.
balls to the
They're
wall.
great. Boom and
I love
whole
BKK.
crew there.
Well, that
So
place is
good.
so good,
It
right?
was
What,
so
what
good.
did you have at BKK?
We did the Mu
Yang,
Yang. We did the Mu Yang.
grilled strips of marinated pork.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I did the
We had-
papaya salad because theirs is unbelievable,
Yeah, very
and I
good.
did the duck larb.
And do you get it hot? Do you?
I can't deal with it. No, my
no.
wife does.
Okay, so
but
she gets a little side.
she
spice.
got a curry and she got it hot, and I can't touch that. My wife can do spice like no one I ever met.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I love spice, but spice no
I
longer
can't,
loves me.
man.
All right, we'll be back with more with Danny Serfer at Blue Collar after these words. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the... Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the new river. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and information, go to the House on. We're back on the Lunchbox. Blue collar, Danny Serfer. What a man! What a mensch! He brought out the whole menu. I feel like I'm in the movie diner. I'm Earl. I'm eating the whole left side of the menu, and it's good. During the break, I did a little bit of the Corbin without the muffin, just some of the the brisket itself, dunked in the au jus. Delicious, and I can't believe how good this vegetable platter is. This candied yam with the
chili brown butter. Just saying chili brown butter
makes things tingle in my body.
Well,
It's
when
really
you say
good.
the term veggie platter, you're thinking like carrots and broccoli.
No,
and
this is
cauliflower.
not
This is not the standard
your grandma's
veggie platter.
Yeah, I mean the grilled asparagus with the crumbles of blue cheese. You got the
Maduros are fantastic.
and the Roman artichoke hearts, lightly fried with a little bit of aioli on it, right?
Yeah, lemon aioli.
It's beautiful.
Thank
This
you.
is a beautiful dish that I could even be a vegetarian for a day.
When we
just
first were opening, I ripped out the idea of the veggie plate from a place I worked at in New York.
Mhm.
And when I came down here and I was like, I have to do that. It's amazing. Everyone was like, you're an idiot. No one's going to order that. And I was like, no, trust me. I saw it in New York. They're like, New York is different. You're an idiot. No one's going to order that. It was actually my sponsor at the time. And I was like, just trust me. Just watch. People are going to order as entrees, as appetizers. It's going to light the world on fire. And people order the shit out of that.
You're a man ahead of your time, and that's great. Biggest sellers here, I imagine the burger and
Burger number one, no matter what, always.
Are people adventurous? Will they eat the curry like goat?
Yeah,
if
You're
that's
in
the brains?
Miami.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you get a lot of
we sell
Caribbean
plenty of
people.
goat. The
I
thing
just
is-
took a bite. It's delicious. The curry
Thank you.
sauce is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Perfect, on point. The goat itself is,
It's
I
goat,
guess
yeah.
some people will find it an acquired taste. It is gamey. It is goat, but that's the whole point of it, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
has a flavor.
The goat does well, but it's always going up against the oxtail now.
Oxtails, like
So like when we just had the daily braids and we wouldn't compete with the oxtail, the goat would do better.
If you were coming to, let's say, Las Olas, and I was your backer sponsor, I would tell you the goat will not sell on
and
Las
Fort Lauderdale
Olas.
is hit or miss.
It's
That sounds like a challenge. That sounds like the people that said the veggie plate will never work.
all right, but you don't want to deal with Las Olas now.
You know what?
This-
Actually, when I was the chef at the fisheries, I would put on some shit that I didn't think would fly there, and it
and
worked.
it flew.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had this one dish. I don't know why I have such an affinity for it. I try it again here.
Herring is a Jewish
No,
thing.
no. So
Herring.
you're gonna be like that.
Top
You're
liver.
gonna say that sounds so dumb. I would take clams and
Yeah.
I would steam them with like sake
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
delicious.
That sounds
and
amazing.
bananas.
Okay, that I haven't had that
That's
twist.
something.
Now you must know Southport Raw Bar.
I love Southport.
Well, Buddy, good friend, but Noy is in the fold in the kitchen, and I don't even ask anybody. I don't know if Noy is the ex-wife or the current wife. I don't ask, but Noy and Buddy. Noy is the culinary talent. She's from Thailand originally, and she does a curry mussels, but also she puts in lemongrass and some other one component that you wouldn't think of. It's not banana, but it's a delicious dish. So if you could do clams with sake and banana,
I'm sure it's fantastic.
if you put that out right now, I would devour it.
It-
I
it
love
just-
any clam dish.
The banana just somehow works. I don't know why. I don't remember where I started seeing that. I did not think about it on my own, but it was just like a ton of like scallion, green onion, and the banana. and it worked.
It worked.
But the bananas have to be like just right. They can't be too mushy or too green.
Bring it to our next poker game, and I'll
Okay.
devour it. So, and I'm glad I finally last time, I've been coming. He's been nice enough to invite me. Everybody brings all this unbelievably good food. And one time a guy went to VNS and didn't just buy like 7 subs for the 8 players. He had like pans and pans of everything. So I was tasked with bringing the food last time, and I have to step up and deliver. So I went to our friend Poon, and at BKK Thai, and I said, we got a little.
Oh, you actually
group.
did say, look.
I went in there too. I told them,
please.
I'm going to pick it up at 6, but I need a nice assortment of all kinds of things, and went through some of the greatest hits, and I loved it. He was so happy.
You went there.
All I want to do is please him. The other guys,
well,
they're
freaking
freaking Visigoths. They're like, oh, what's that? I don't want to eat,
it was
tofu
so good.
skin. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a great spread.
All right, we've talked about the past.
Yep.
We've talked about the present. Now we got to talk about the future. You're getting involved in some things up in Broward, which again. No hatred towards the 954.
He's a Broward guy.
Grew up there. He appreciates a lot of the fun things there. But you've involved with some things. I guess the Sun Sentinel's about to write the story or publish a story about what you've been up to there. What's happening?
I have a consulting gig up there for 26 Degree Brewery.
In Pompano.
Oh yeah, no.
The owner
on Atlantic Avenue.
The owner
Atlantic Boulevard. I always get them confused.
The owner I've known since I'm 14 years old. We went to university school together. Jonathan, and our kids, my son and his daughter, are like best friends.
And 26 degrees is not the temperature the beer is brewed at. It is the longitude line of Pompano Beach. See what I know?
Good for
I know
you.
things.
Yeah. So I back in the fall of 2019, he had approached me and said, "Hey, look, we want to open up a restaurant in the kitchen inside the brewery."
Right.
And I was like, that's a good idea, because what the fuck you do at a brewery without any food?
They usually have a food truck. There's usually
I think
a food
they like
truck
the
that
drinking
attaches
part.
to
They
it,
usually
yeah.
higher profit margin on the drinks than the food. I think you understand
Yeah,
that now.
but
it helps
but
to have
I don't
food.
think
It
people
helps to have
people I think don't stay long enough.
Yeah, you
because
need
they didn't
food,
have
yep.
liquor either. You just
You
had
got
the
to give
beer.
them a little nosh.
So
Yep.
I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. And then the pandemic happened, so everything got delayed. Plans, not like our plans to do it, but shit going through the city, things like that. And then the pandemic, it's not like things are moving quite along. So we're actually getting close, very close to getting it open. Any day, week now.
Okay.
We will have a restaurant at that brewery. And
is it a separate name or
no,
just
no.
the
It's just part of the brewery. 26,
Okay.
26 Degree Brewery and Kitchen.
a kitchen? Okay, they're gonna add the kitchen.
And I'm very excited about the menu.
What's some stuff on it? Anything from the blue collar menu or everything?
We're gonna have the conch fritters and the conch salad.
Nice.
Because I think that plays really well in Pompano. I know from my time at
Big
the 15th
seafood,
Street
yeah,
Fisheries,
yeah.
they appreciate a good conch salad.
Okay.
Burger? There's a burger. You're not gonna
like
love
this.
it. It's a smash burger.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, but at the brewery, people love. People
I
love
understand.
smash burgers,
The
you know
kids
that,
today,
like-
I don't understand that.
Yeah. We have 3 things that we're really excited. I think are going to be like the features of the menu.
Okay.
One of them we're calling a pompano beef dip,
Okay.
and it's like a
Ooh.
Chicago beef.
Mm.
However,
Okay.
of course, we cure our own roast beef and make it in house, and that's on there.
Mm.
But in addition to that, there's oxtail.
Ooh.
So we braise
Little
ox-
braised shredded
On a
oxtail.
So we
sandwich.
braise oxtail.
The beef.
It's on.
Oh
It's
my
there with
Do
the
you put
beef.
the jardinera on
And
it
of course,
too?
the jardinere.
Okay.
We mix hot and mild, so you get a little bit of both.
Right.
And the jus that you're gonna serve with the side of jus to dip is all oxtail jus.
Okay.
So we're
So
very excited
very
about that.
rich.
Yes.
And it goes, I bet, with. Well,
Well,
here's
nice
a
beer,
question.
and-
I would say the stout or whatever. How do you do a menu for a brewery without being able to? Do you sip and spit to get a sense of the pairings of what?
I
Works
mean, I
with
remember what types
knows
of
what
beers
beer
taste
tastes
like. But there's another dish that
Do
we
you
make.
really?
And like after it cooks down and reduces and like the raw alcohol's out, I'll taste it.
Okay.
So like we're doing a lot of cooking with it. We have, we're gonna make some
Right.
of the mussels.
The cooking with it, I understand. Yeah.
But we have this it's a traditional Irish sausage stew called a coddle, and it's the way it's made. We're calling it just like a sausage stew. So we have Irish bangers, potatoes, and we braise them in smoked bacon, caramelized onions, and a fuck ton of the stout.
That's how you actually put it in the recipe
That's
card.
in the recipe.
Like a fuck ton of the stout they make. Like over, I guess in Ireland they use Guinness.
Yeah.
But since they make a really good stout there, they're braising it there. So it's like all these potatoes and bacon and sausages slow cooked in that stout. It's really good. And like once we reduce it down and butter it out, it's not it's not very
I'm
bitter.
looking forward to it. Again, that's
really
26
cool,
Degrees Brewing on Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano. It's been there for a long time.
10 years.
And I need to get back in there. I haven't been there since the early days. And you're right, because if a place doesn't have food, there's only so much beer I could drink before I fall off the stool. And, I used to live around the corner from Three Sons in Dania. They had
Shout out to Nikolai,
who started it and developed the menu and no longer there. But, he started, I really think he raised the game in terms of the breweries around.
Well, they had food.
Broward.
They have legit food.
And our friend Jeff Vincent over at Funky Buddha has been around a while too. But Nikolai, the pizza's there, and he
the food they have is nice.
He does a duck banh mi that's at Three Sons. So this is the kind of stuff that you're going to be bringing.
Yeah, the chef we have who's going to lead the kitchen at 26 Degree, he was most recently the sous chef at Three Sons.
Oh, okay.
There you
So
go. So he gets it.
Yeah, and then the last thing that we're really excited about there.
Aisle 3.
It's business. It's fair.
Yeah.
We're making 2 different kinds of hand pies.
Yeah.
One is a ground lamb hand pie.
Oh, a lamb hand
it's
pie.
like
Just
almost,
saying that also stirs feelings in me that
so that
has
one
me wondering about my
that one's served with mash and
orientation.
gravy.
Yes.
But inside the lamb pie is the ground lamb, onions, and peas, and like
A little mint or no?
no mint. We're keeping it. No. We want it super savory.
Okay.
And then the other one is chicken, prosciutto, and leek.
No, jeez.
So that one's more like
Prosciutto and leek.
Yeah,
That's an interesting
As a
combo.
hand pie.
so that one is more like what you would think of as a traditional pot pie, like it's white.
Yeah.
Whereas the lamb one, is darker, and you get like your own huge kind of like pot pie.
And the puff pastry on it is
It's not quite puff pastry. It's a different kind of dough. It's called the hot water crust.
okay.
So and that's made with a little bit of lard and butter, and you warm it up. You warm up the fat in the water, and then you add that to the flour, and it becomes this really great pastry dough. It's not like super flaky, but it like has a great chew, and it gives really easy, but it also holds like the whole thing really well.
Now, again, you went to Vermont College, Florida State, history, politics. Did you ever do any formal culinary school training?
said
or
after.
just-
Oh yeah, when I
said
graduated
after
college,
FSU.
I went to Le Cordon Bleu down here.
Okay, good. I missed that part. I was
going to ask
too
him actually. So
busy
you went to
eating.
college, got a degree, and then went to culinary school, but it makes sense if you want to transition into that world.
That's good.
Yeah, if I was doing
Do you
it over.
believe that's needed,
No.
or can you just
No.
learn everything you need
No.
by
Did it
being
help
in
at
the right
all? Like, did it get
places?
you into kitchens at least?
I think my actual 4-year degree is why Alan took a chance on me.
Oh, funny.
Yeah,
He
and
liked to see somebody who's a little bit more well-rounded.
I think so. I like to take chances on people that have a college degree and no cooking experience, because if you finish college, it shows
can
me
finish.
you can finish. You can stick to something. I don't think it's necessary to go to culinary school. I did it, and the value that I learned from it was beginning level knife skills and just knowing a little bit about like mother sauces. So knowing about those things. After that, I don't think culinary school is quite necessary. You're not going to learn anything. You don't learn as much there. Like every kitchen does things different.
What's the difference between Bernays and Bordelais?
Serious?
No.
I mean, he's been in the business a long time.
No, it's
He probably learned it. Over
no,
the
and the
last 20
thing
years.
is, I never went to journalism school. I was a Soviet and Eastern
That's so
European
funny.
studies major. I actually spoke a little bit of
Russian,
Ruski.
I know.
And then, everything I learned, the Soviet Union crumbled. Everything I learned was rendered meaningless, and I became a sports writer, and it worked out.
You know where
I won a Pulitzer Prize. I never won a James Beard Award, Carlos Frias. I hate you. But
Pulitzer's almost as impressive.
yeah, actually, it's part of the team
Almost as
effort. But it was,
impressive.
it's one of those weird things because you win off this horrendous tragedy.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like I don't even
Douglas,
like
right?
to talk about.
Oh.
Like you shouldn't be getting awards
Yeah,
for
for
doing
that,
your
yeah, yeah.
job of something that's
No, but your coverage
One
was
of the things
fantastic.
that
awful, most
does stick
awful
with
thing.
me that has value. In high school and college, I was big competitive debater.
Oh, I did debate. That's funny.
I was big. I did this event called Policy Debate, which is like
Yep,
a Cadillac
yep,
of debating.
Yep.
And I learned a lot there that translated into cooking. So in policy debate, you have to talk really fast, and you're doing a line-by-line debate. So like, I can't just say everything that guy said is bullshit.
No.
I have to say, you know,
No ad hominem attack.
I have to say,
it's
I
the
have to
worst.
say, like,
yes.
you know, on this disadvantage, line 4, little a, they say this. It's not true because this, and here's my evidence.
Right.
But I can't just tell you my evidence. I have to read it to you.
Oh, your university school killed debate.
So this is back when facts mattered.
No.
So, but like,
I did
so
debate. They
doing a
killed
line by line and having a board, you know, window full of tickets, having gone through that in debate, having to be so organized and fast, it has led me to be a much better expeditor and kitchen person.
Excellent. Wow.
Yeah.
This
And
is, this
if I
is
may-
a fascinating discussion.
if I may,
never would have thought.
If I may, our claim
Yes.
to fame.
Yes.
We were pretty good, but like Florida isn't great. Like in the actual debate, Florida back then was not great. We were good on the acting side. Like Josh Gad came out of there, Michelle Collins came out of there. I made Matt Gaetz cry in the
That's wonderful.
he couldn't.
in the semifinal round of the state championship.
Yeah, the state.
In
was
19
Is there video of
and,
that?
and I can't find it anywhere. I can't find the tab room. Me and my partner, we beat him in the semifinals, states 1998, in like Niagara Falls. Little 16-year-old kid crying because he lost the debate round. He's so tough. Oh my God, right?
I love that story.
that so much.
Marco Rubio once tried to get me fired, but I told that story last
Last
week,
week.
so we're not even going to go there again. And he was, you know what? That's it. It's amazing. He's a Secretary of State, and he's the adult in the room. We got to take our
Our
third
last break,
and
yeah.
final break. And next time you debate yourself at a poker table about calling or folding, if it's me, just fold. That's it. I got him. I love this place. I love this guy. Come on down to Blue Collar, 6789 Biscayne Boulevard in Miami. We got to spend more time in Miami, Lubie.
I know. We
I
told our
love it
friend
down
George.
here.
We love it here. My dad. I spent lots of time in Miami. Miami was a part of my heart and soul. It's just once you get older and you deal with less traffic in Broward, it's hard to deal with the traffic here. But once you're here, I love
the
Miami.
daytime. It's good before rush hour comes. But this is, again, once rush hour is over, it's a really easy commute down 95 or Biscayne Boulevard if you are coming from parts north.
Yes.
And he's making a face.
Sometimes, like when we have the poker game, I'm trying to time it. Like I've spent 2 hours coming from here
Bingo.
to Plantation.
Yeah, going north can be a little dicey late in the day, but come the other way. Reverse is
The
good.
reverse commute
And
is
then you
easier.
stay here for 3 hours. You run up a big tab.
This is a great place to come if you're coming from Broward and you're going to a Heat game here or Mignonette. Mignonette, you can park at our lot and walk
Good
to the Heat
ideas.
game. Here, you come, eat, go to the Heat game. It's very easy.
That's true. It's kind of a pit
It's
stop
not far.
along the way.
Yeah.
And Mignonette, great place to go if you're going to a Heat game or the Arch
Yes.
Center, right? It's very convenient for that. And that's a question that comes up on the Let's Eat group all the time. I'm going to a show at the Arch Center. Where should I
Where did I
eat?
go? Yep.
Mignonette,
Mignonette.
blue collar.
Mignonette.
But
is-
Mignonette, you could walk to the Arch Center very easily, park in our lot, and have to pay for parking.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
And you get a great meal.
It is time to take our third and final break. Before we do, quick word: Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood. That's another long-time place.
Yes.
Iconic. It is at 4191 North State Road 7. And with all the holidays, the spring holidays coming up soon, Passover on April 12th, and then Easter Sunday, both the Eastern Orthodox and the, I guess, whatever you call the Roman Catholic Easter, April 20th Sunday. You can get whatever you need at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. They're the home of freshness and value. Doug Carter, longtime owner. Well, now that tradition is in the hands of Jose and Jean. They do a great job. We're going to be in there a week from today for our monthly visit, and I'm sure that Gene will be whipping up a batch of his famous gefilte fish. And my offer still stands to default. Do you like gefilte fish, or
I only like the shitty one you get from the jar.
you like the
I've never
jelly?
had
Yeah,
a-
you like that better.
I've never had a good homemade one.
He makes a good one. He
See, my-
uses fresh
he does.
whitefish
He
and he
makes
grinds it up. And I'm a convert. I love
He's
the
not
fresh
Jewish in
gefilte
any way, and he
fish,
makes a
and
really nice gefilte.
you can't
I
find
buy
better.
that.
You
I
can't,
buy that. Could be good then.
and you can't
Yeah,
find
as long
be-
as I'm my grandma.
you can't find better chopped liver because they have all the
Yeah, they
chickens
really
that are
make
in
good
stock,
chopped
and
liver,
they
yep.
just grind up the liver with a bunch of onions and schmaltz. Great provisions for both Passover and, of course, for
Easter. Yeah.
Easter. They have all the lamb and everything that you want, and you could also put on a platter of stone crabs and shrimp for
And then
all the
before the
holiday
season's
feast.
over, yeah.
Not necessarily for your kosher friends.
No.
For
Well,
Pesach,
for Easter, it
but
could work for Easter.
Absolutely. We love Delaware Chicken. Sign up for their weekly newsletter, DelawareChicken.com. Sign up today, and if you go in there, tell them we say hi, and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, third and final break. We went a little overtime, my friend, but
we're having a
thank
good
you.
time.
It was great.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
This was a beautiful
Can I do
thing.
one last plug before?
Well, no, we'll
course.
be back
Oh,
one more
okay.
time.
We're gonna do one more
keep you
segment, and then we
around,
can plug it up.
and then we'll plug it up, and we'll finish it off and put a bow on it, and then off to the races or something. We go.
Poker tables.
You want to?
Yeah, sure.
I'll go.
Two together scares me. More after this from Blue Collar here in Miami.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox. We're back on the Lunchbox. I'm still eating. I just nibbled on a bite of their
It's ridiculous.
the cheesesteak sandwich, kind of like sliced steak.
Yes.
Unbelievably good seasoning.
Very
It's
limited
rich.
quantities of that daily. Only Monday through Friday lunch, 9 a day.
And
Really?
I know
Oh,
you're
you-
a fan of the big sesame seeded
Gotta be.
Italian loaf. That is so good. I love bread like that. The crusty, crunchy bread.
But still has give and chew.
Yes, you need the give and the chew. So you said you had more things to
You have
plug.
to plug
What's,
some
stuff.
what's
all
the
right.
plugging?
So every
Plug away. my
for past 10 years, for all the Jewish holidays, we do a complete basket package for you and your family, so you don't have to cook, and it's very easy to clean up. It comes with all the matzo ball soup you need, all your latkes, all the applesauce, all the sour cream for the latkes, all the brisket, all the chicken quarters, potatoes, mushrooms, beets, Brussels sprouts, and matzah crust key lime pie.
Matzo crust key lime pie.
Really?
Oh
So
my.
even though it has dairy, it's kosher for Passover in that regard.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to quibble too much. on
No,
it.
that's
That sounds
funny.
fantastic.
It's kosher for Passover, not
Oh,
kosher.
And we couldn't round out an episode of Blue
Oh,
Collar
yeah,
without
The
having
famous key lime
the
pie.
famous
Tell me the
again.
wrong whipped cream.
It's he's got the chef
Well, he wants it done right. I
he
guess.
wants it done right. Well, we're gonna have to stretch
That's
it a little
amazing.
longer.
You do like a whole package for a Passover.
Yeah, so it's $4.99 and it's feeds 10 to 12
Feeds
people.
Okay, there you
10
go.
to 12.
Yeah.
Um,
And like
again.
we've done that for a very long time, and we have not had very many, if any, complaints.
Okay.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know what? Maybe I'll do that.
I was gonna
this
say
year.
my mom went crazy
I don't
2
feel
weeks ago
like
buying
cooking.
stuff. It's annoying because I would have done that to save her trouble. Like
For us, it's I feel like we can do as good a job as many boobies when it comes to matzo ball, latkes, and brisket.
Do
Interesting.
you have
Do you
matzo
ever
ball
do
soup
matzo ball
on your
soup here?
regular menu or not?
We used to. When
Okay.
we moved across the street, I got rid of the lentil soup and switched to matzo ball, much to many people's dislike.
Mm.
And this one guy came in and he's like, I wanted the lentil soup. I like the lentil soup. I eat matzo ball soup every day. I'm Jewish. I eat matzo ball soup all the time. I want something else. And I was like, I tell you what, if you come back tomorrow, I'll put the lentil soup. I'll make the lentil soup for you. He's like, I'm going to be here tomorrow. And the guy showed up.
Mm.
So I made the lentil soup, and now we switched over to lentil because he made a good point. And we're members of the tribe, we can eat matzo ball soup whenever. We go to delis, whatever.
Right.
It's a Shabbat lots of times. So,
Delis are a vanishing breed, though, but there are.
but he made a
bunch
good point.
yeah.
Like, I don't like matzo ball soup is not a special going out thing, and we're not a
Okay.
deli. So
Well, no, because I had some intel. If you had it on the regular menu, the Sun Sentinel, you know, they do this like monthly
Yeah.
best
Best
of
of
food
this.
series.
They're
Well,
doing
I
matzo
happened
ball
to
soup.
learn that in conjunction with Passover coming up, they're going to be doing a best matzo ball soup.
How many places even do matzo ball soup?
Well, I mean, you have
That's
our
interesting.
friends at Grandpa's.
Yeah.
Now,
I
they
like
want-
grandpa's.
I,
I like
they do a
grandpa's.
nice
Yeah, I like
matzo ball
everything.
soup.
but
they do.
I've only harshed on him for one thing. And again, he's a sponsor. I love Mark Fried. I saw Mark Goldberg the other day at Cafe Seville. They use the wrong noodles because they use that angel hair pasta, and you need
Egg.
fine
The
egg
thick
noodles.
egg
It has to
noodles,
be
yeah.
not the thick ones, not the Goyish ones, the ribbons. I want the little thin Luxion noodles, and I think an egg noodle is essential.
Has to
I don't
be.
know if Clive and Fried will take my note or not, but what
Next time you do it, remember you have the
use
right noodles.
thin egg.
Yeah, when I make it here, we didn't do a noodle, but when I make it at home, I buy the
Yeah, the thin Manischewitz
Super
or even
shredded,
the Publix,
yeah.
the very thin cut egg noodle.
yes.
And
Clive-
again, Luxion, we called it back in the old country of Brooklyn.
It means noodle.
Means noodle.
Noodle, yeah. Luxion
it's
Kugel. Like,
Yiddish. Yeah.
for at Chef Allen's for Passover, we did
Luxion
Seder's,
Kugel.
and I make Luxion Kugel every year.
I love just saying Luxion Kugel.
I've
Another thing
just
that
heard it
fills
as
me
I've
with
known
Kugels.
Clive since I'm a very little boy.
Clive is the best.
Clive I've known since since
he
I'm like 8 years
slices
old.
the lox thinner
Yeah.
than Paulie did the garlic in Goodfellas. You can
I-
see through it. It's
I
beautiful.
really like Grandpa since this guy took over, and
Oh, these guys, Fried and Goldberg, they're
yeah, they use our
they-
same our social media manager Rachel.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Rachel's great.
they again their bagels. I was in there just on Sunday.
Good tuna.
Had a out of town guest came
Oh
in.
yeah, we've had the
Everybody
tuna's
was
good.
very
Tuna's hell,
impressed.
yeah.
I love
Thank you.
everything about Grandpa's. But
that
the
right?
thing is, if the Sentinel is doing
that
a
right?
matzo ball
Is
competition,
that right?
they wanted to do Lubie. I didn't. Well, I haven't told anybody about it, but I'm about to talk to them because they want to do like what we did with the pizza competition, where we do a blind tasting,
Oh,
like a
matzo ball soup.
getting a judging panel together. Now I said I might have to sit this one out and just be the master of ceremonies and be a neutral judge because of our, relationships with various.
I was gonna
people.
say, we-
'Cause, like,
We have a
you know,
couple
if-
places that do the soup.
I'm-
Because
I'm-
Gilbert's doesn't do a matzo ball
no,
soup.
they don't do matzo balls, but that places up in Palm Beach County like the Flakowitz or
I like
the,
Flakowitz.
the 3G's deli. There's some delis up there that has. All right. Meanwhile, we've got what is this in front of us? This is the famous key lime pie.
Yes,
Megan's, Mrs. Corbin's key lime pie.
This is
I've been eating this for years.
Billy
Okay.
Corbin's wife. She makes the key lime pie for us. And what makes it special, it's a fantastic recipe. And there's lots of secrets in there that I don't really know how she does it.
Mm.
One of the things I know she does, and this is how you know something is really good.
Perfect.
When
sweet
something is a
tart.
huge pain in the ass to make, it's going to be a winner.
labor intensive.
If you know what a key lime looks like, you can imagine how annoying it is to squeeze the amount of juice you need to make a pie
Yeah.
from a key lime. And she hand squeezes these pies.
Oh wow.
these
my
these key limes, which are
Right.
like this
They're a
big,
little bit,
they're
yeah.
tiny.
and gets the amount of juice she needs to make a pie. So
'Cause it's, and again, for those who actually, there's all these like lime juice or key lime juice. That's cheating. In order to get a really proper pie, this is the way to do it. This is one of the best.
Well, the crossover world, Corbin used to come in every Friday and do an hour with Castronovo. And then he would do he would come and do a half an hour with us because Difo and I were right down the hall. So we'd do it half an hour with us. And then he would go down and do an hour with Castronovo and he would bring her pies. And we were like all giddy every week for her pie. And then we found out that they were here, and I was always been wanting to get down here and get it from Blue Collar.
This is sacrilege, but I'm saying it. It's better than Joe's. Stone
It's just as
Crab.
good as any
It
key lime
is.
pie you'll have.
It
If
is.
you want to rank it, you do you. But it's as good as
no,
Gilbert's
it's
does a great
it's
key
as
lime
good
pie.
at key lime pie as you can get.
I know a lot of them do end up using the key lime juice
Everyone
and not
uses
like
that.
that.
Everyone
No,
uses
she
either
does
that-
the whole thing.
Everyone uses either that or just a regular Persian lime.
Right.
That's what makes Megan special.
This is
That's why
fantastic. It is back in my top spot
no, it's
of
it's
restaurant
insane.
key lime pies. Now, up in Broward, there's two places that I love their key lime pie. And I don't know if you've been to either one. No, Tropical doesn't. Okay,
Tropical is fine.
Tropical and Gilbert's, both of our sponsors.
I was gonna say if you don't say Gilbert's,
and Gilbert's has a great. Gilbert's makes a great key lime pie. You know, I'm putting Lenore in my top
don't
three.
piss off Lenore.
And look, you know, Tropical Acres is
They do
good.
a nice key lime pie.
It's good, but the two that stand out to me, a place called Beach House in Pompano.
I know Beach House.
If you've ever been in there, go get their key lime pie. It's fantastic. It's a graham cracker crust that has also bits of forget some kind of nut in there. But again, the filling, it's not too tart, not too sweet. It's perfect balance, perfect texture. And Burton's,
I know you like,
which is
it's
a
like your own
chain out of
personal
Massachusetts, but they have their own like personal little round. And again, the way they do it, I don't think they're using the real key lime juice. Well, not
the
hand
consistency,
squeezed,
the flavor was really,
but
nice.
it's really good. So I'm going to float that to you if next time if you want to take a little expedition or research. But you don't need to improve on this. So you don't need to.
I know a couple of the tricks she uses. I won't tell them, and it's like very counterintuitive. But Megan's key lime pie is
It's killer.
It's
a
fantastic.
bit, you know, if you guys have been around long enough. When I was growing up, I used to love listening to Neil.
Oh,
Yep.
Neil
Oh,
God.
When he mentioned Jeff DeForest, I remember hearing Neil talk about it.
Jeff
And
the Florist.
Default so does stuff for us. Yeah.
my friend's dad, my best friend growing up, his dad, he sold like radio time. Like his company was like Mac Media, so they worked a lot with 560 and 610. So I miss Neil. Neil God.
I miss Neil. And you know,
my dad and my uncle love Neil.
He would have been so like last year having the Panthers,
Panthers,
win.
he's
Oh
a
my
huge
God,
Panthers
it
dude.
would have been everything for him.
I also wanted to hear what he would think about the current state of affairs in the world.
Oh, in the world, oh God!
Look, I can't believe it's been, I think, 15 years since he's gone.
Yeah,
and you know the whole reason that this show exists, that we go around to different restaurants, was actually kind of an idea of the great Norm Kent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Norm was Neil's agent, longtime lawyer, and also activist, and he had his own radio show on a little brokerage station in Broward, and I used to kind of kill time during the pandemic coming on his show, and then he was like, Mike, you should go around at lunchtime and just go to different restaurants and talk to people. And you could call it, I don't know if he came up with the Lunchbox name, but Norm, rest in peace. He passed a few years ago after a battle with pancreatic cancer, but I'll send the residuals.
George was doing something for a while. George was doing something for a while.
He's gone
George
now,
did it
too.
in the radio.
He had a way too young.
Very young.
Yeah, so we're reminiscing about the good old days. You know, one other thing I appreciate about, well, besides everything that you do, you have all the right touches.
Thanks.
There's nothing more offensive to me than having somebody have a really good key lime pie and then they put like canned, commercial whipped cream on it. Like just whip up the creme fraiche yourself. And that's what you do here.
We do it.
And you could tell the difference. People who know food know Danny Serfer
is
is all about, quality
and
top
ingredients
and
great presentation,
authenticity. I mean, he does things the right way. There's no shortcuts, and that's why we're friends. That and I wrote a really good review about Mignonette, which happened to be completely accurate at the time.
Thank you. And we have poker now too.
Yeah, we have vices in common. We shoot up drugs, our new drugs.
We're gonna go to the old motel after this, and
shoot up your Ozempic.
I can show you our old storage room.
Just keep that T-shirt off your kids' backs. Man, this was a lot of fun. Everybody, tomorrow, I don't know where we're going to be. That's usually how my life goes these days. Thursday, we'll be at Gilbert's, catch up with Lenore. Hopefully, she's on the mend.
That place.
After everybody I know has been, I guess, waylaid by this flu or whatever is going around. But hopefully, she's better and back, and we'll see you there on Thursday. Tomorrow, we might be at home. We might be at a new mystery location. But meanwhile, you guys out there, come check it out. Blue Collar. Again, 6789 Biscayne Boulevard. He dealt himself a straight. Yep. So it's a very easy address to remember.
Yep.
And it's the spot. Whether you want one of the best burgers I've eaten in a long time, and I had one in New York that was prohibitively expensive, really good at the Danny Meyer's place. Why am I blanking on the name?
I don't remember the name.
The one that's not the one that the Union Square Cafe.
Gramercy?
Gramercy Tavern. $35 for a dry aged burger. That was good, but this one here better.
It's only 25.
And 25.
And it comes with fries.
With those big cut fries. And that's a winner. It's all a winner.
Thank you.
The Corbin You know what? I'm done. I'm done singing my praises. Just come here and eat. You'll be happy.
You'll be
Thank you.
very happy.
All right, Danny. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having
Hopefully,
me.
we'll
Thanks for
see you
coming.
again soon. Kara, thanks for coming out. Lubie, thanks for your
Yes,
efforts
sir.
as usual. Everybody out there, good night and good luck, and enjoy every sandwich.